What up, everybody? How's it going? Today's episode is a conversation with my husband, my man, who's actually on the massage chair right over there. And it's been one that whenever I think of people that I want to interview, I always think of my husband. I always think of my husband. He really is my muse. I'm constantly fascinated with how his mind works, how he approaches things. And in this conversation, we get into discipline and like what that actually looks like in practice, commitment, this big buzzword mindset, and how the struggle, the struggle is just as big as the conviction to do the damn thing. But the conviction is just a little bit more. It's just a little bit more. We also get a cameo from our son, which is hilarious. So he, I hope you enjoy that. Very candid, very like hanging out in our house. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you take away something from it. And I hope that it inspires you to realize that people who are, quote, succeeding, the struggle is just as hard for them um, as it is when you feel like you're struggling harder. The difference is, are you showing up for yourself? Are you saying yes to you, which we also talk about? All right. Enjoy.
So what do we do? Like, what do we do?
Just want to make sure that we're good.
Make sure it's recording so we don't waste time here.
It's been recording.
This did it record?
Yes. So, hey, everybody.
Hi.
This is my husband. This is Sark. Call him Sark. It's Sarkhan.
Mhm.
And we're going to be doing an interview today.
Yeah.
So,
Very nervous. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you inviting me to your podcast.
always, always. When I did my first iteration of this podcast, you were also a guest, which was really
I don't
fun.
even remember that.
You don't remember?
Vaguely.
We did it. You were in your office.
I vaguely remember that.
You were in your office, and I was in my office, and
Okay.
we did like a Zoom.
Oh, wow. I don't remember that.
That was
So.
like 2 years ago.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for you, babe. It's great.
So,
Congratulations
thank you.
on
Thank you.
your success.
Thank you. Excellent. So, the reason, obviously I'm very biased. You are my husband, so I'm a big fan. You genuinely are, I would say, like my muse because you have so many qualities that I try to work hard at, or like I'm always intentional in my head trying to do better at, and you just do them. You're just
Mm.
incredibly good at it. I mean, we talk a lot philosophically about like discipline and your workload and when you're trying to make decisions about things that are important to you and how to integrate them into your life. But one thing that you are always incredibly consistent at is being consistent. Do you feel like you were always like this?
That's a question.
That is a question.
Um, well, I think it probably starts from my upbringing,
Uh-huh.
how I was raised, and where my environment. And I think, as long as I remember, I've always been a very compliant kid, a
Mhm.
very compliant person, following the rules and such. Never gave any trouble to my parents.
Mm.
Always tried to do the right thing, to be good at school and whatever I was doing. And I guess, like, philosophically, like, just from how I operate and what principles I have had throughout through my life, the first thing that comes to mind is just always try to do what I feel is the right thing to do in the
Mhm.
moment. And even as a kid, like having good grades,
Mhm.
not giving trouble to my
We've
parents,
talked about a lot.
right? Not if I'm doing a sport or if I'm doing something, I always felt like I have to try to be the best I can in that particular activity. And I've always been very competitive with myself.
Mm.
And those qualities, they're kind of just somehow either through my, upbringing or my education or my environment or my genetic makeup, they've always been ingrained into me.
Mhm.
And I've been always a very insecure kid when
Mhm.
was growing up. But I remember a turning point for me in my 20s when I basically said to myself, I have to do what I can within my control
Mhm.
to try to get as good as I can be in and be successful in my life. And so I would say that that was the moment where I realized like just chipping away and just whatever you're doing, like work, career, sports, parenting,
Mm.
just try chipping away and hearing what other people say, like things that you need to work on. Just try to always get better every year, every week, every month. And that has been basically my philosophy since I guess my conscious years
Mhm.
in my 20s and my 30s, and trying to perfect it every single year, every single day. Just listening to you, listening to people in my work. What can I do better? Always listening and always kind of figuring this out. And I would say that yes, I probably since I remember, I've always had this mindset of just do the right thing, stay consistent. Have a very specific, like if you do something, just try to do that thing for a long period of time
Mhm.
because that's the only way you can get better. So I would say, yeah, as long as I remember, pretty much operated that way and, you know, got me to a decent spot, I guess.
Yeah, I'd say so. Do you remember? Because like, what I'm hearing is, like, a muscle memory was you were predispositioned, sure,
Hmm.
but then it's like, was there at some point where you saw sort of the fruits of the consistent labor where you were like, "Oh, I do just need to chip away a little bit," and you saw success, and you were like, "Okay, this is the way." Like, do you remember, when you were younger, like, examples of that
Oh yeah,
or
for sure.
yeah.
There are a few things that stand out from my early days, my teenage years, especially. Um, there was one moment when I was growing up that basically we had like a competition in school, which
Mhm,
was a recital competition. So you have to learn, memorize poetry, like a piece of poetry from like a famous writer, like
mhm,
Pushkin, for example,
mhm,
and you have to recite it in front of the entire school,
mhm.
right? And I remember I decided to sign up. I was maybe like 10 years old or something like that. And I came home. I told my parents, "Hey, I signed up for this competition." It's like, "You? What? Where did this come from?" And then my teacher was the same. She's like, "You really? You signed up for that competition?" Because there was a girl in my class that was always doing it every year, and she was the best.
Wow.
I was like, "I want to do it. I want to see what's up." Anyways, long story short, I ended up winning that competition in school,
Long
and I was
story
like,
short.
"Hold on a minute! Like that was like an interesting experience because I really never thought I would be good at that." And essentially, what happened over the course of the next 3 years, at the time I was living in Moscow, and essentially I went like on a 3 year run to win a Moscow wide competition, recital competition at this city level. And essentially going back to your question, what I realized in the moment, like just having that moment where you just jump in the pool and realize like just try it out,
Mm,
and then you're like, oh, you know what, like I actually can be decent in that. And then from there I was just chipping away and like doing a lot of recitals, doing a lot of learning, doing a lot of self work, working with a coach to be able to then go and put myself out there and perform really well in a bigger stage.
mm,
That was one moment where I realized like, hey, that kind of consistency and that just like belief in yourself, it can pay off big time if you just stay with it and try to work on yourself. And I think good things will come. And the other piece, the other memory that I have, a core memory, was when I was, in my 20s, early 20s. I had this itch um, to start working out because I had
Mm,
been completely sedentary for a couple of years because I had just moved to Spain and haven't done any sports, but my body was just telling me like, you have to, have to do something about
mhm.
it. So just one day I literally remember like I was living with my parents and I was like, I'm going to go for a run. And I remember just went for a run around the park we had near to our house. And I was completely gassed after 10 minutes of running. I was maybe like 20 years old, 21
Yeah,
years old. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to try to run another day. Like the next day, I went for another run. I was like, I'm going to just try to do like a minute increase every day
yeah,
to see if I can go for one more minute. And eventually I was able to run for like 30 minutes.
right.
And then that same year, I was like, I want to sign up for something. And I decided to sign up for a rowing club, in our local area. Long story short, through 2 years later, 3 years later, I was one of the best rowers in my team. And it was just basically like every day, no matter what, just
Yeah.
go train, whether it's rains, whether it's windy, whether it's
Freezing,
freezing.
super
You just
hot.
go and you do it, and also like figuring out like, hey, you know what? Like once you commit to something, you kind of have to stick through it in order to get any results. So that was
Mhm.
another big core memory for me, which I realized, just chipping away at something athletically and also mentally will yield good results later. And the other kind of big thing for me was my career as well. Similar things like started very much at the bottom and very rough, diamond in the rough type thing. People were giving me a lot of feedback that I was not very nice person to maybe collaborate with. Maybe I was a little bit harsher on the edges. And just like internalizing that feedback, working on myself over time allowed me to progress in my career, raising the ranks and, eventually lead the teams, bigger organizations and things like that. So
Yeah,
that whole thread of just consistency, hard work, discipline, just sticking to something and working through, like
yeah,
putting in the reps, just put in the reps,
yeah.
that will eventually pay off.
Can you describe to me that feeling? Like, for instance, when you went for that run, you got home,
Yeah.
you felt like shit.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Positive about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that feeling inside of you that was like, "I'm gonna do it again tomorrow"? Would you say it's curiosity? Is it hunger? Is it like an anxiousness? Like, what is how would you describe that feeling? That, like, propelled you to say, like, "I'm gonna do it again tomorrow."
I'm not sure what that feeling was in the moment. I don't remember exactly. But if I had to guess, it probably was a combination of just you know, my body was asking me to do it,
Mm.
whatever that was. It's just
Yeah.
like, you have to do this. Just like, how sometimes you just feel, I got to do something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
This
yeah.
is like way out of hand now.
Yeah.
Way. That's one piece of it. The other piece is definitely like you feel something. You feel
Yeah,
as level of fulfillment
yeah,
for just doing that hard thing
right.
that day. And you're like, if I do this hard thing tomorrow, but a little bit harder, you have a little sense of winning. You're just winning
Mhm.
in that moment because you basically overcame what you were capable of yesterday. And so that idea of always getting better, always every day, every month, every week, every year, looking back and saying, I'm better now than I was yesterday. There's something to it, I think.
Totally.
Um, and I think those are the two pieces that I think driving in the moment. And then over time, you kind of just build that habit that it
Mhm.
becomes embedded into who you are. Right. Because for me now, obviously, I'm an athlete competitively. It's a whole different level, right? But it came because I was chipping away at it for decades. And now I'm just able to do this.
Yeah,
And it's just because it became that part of lifestyle. And I think at that moment, you're just, uh, that's just who I am now. And you don't think about doing it, on a Monday or on Tuesday. It's just part of your lifestyle, right?
right.
So
Right.
those are the three pieces. But in the moment, I think it was a combination of just something in my voice was telling me I have to do it. I don't know where it came from. And this satisfaction of I did it and I think I can do better tomorrow. And kind of that sense of winning against my own, I'm my own competition and getting better every day.
Right. Let's talk a little bit about, because you are like that consistency and that, saying yes to yourself, right? You do that, I would say 99 out of 100 times, right? You're like always saying yes to yourself. What happens when you're up against that morning or that rep or that workout where you're just like, I don't wanna. What is
Happens almost every day.
Yeah, so this is hilarious because I remember I asked you, I think it was a couple of years ago, I asked you, I was like, "Do you ever do you" I don't even know what how I asked it to you, but I was basically like, "Do you ever wanna" oh, that's what "Do you ever wanna quit? Do you ever wanna quit?" And you were like, "All the time." I was like, "What?" That answer actually blew my mind. You were like, "When I wake up, I don't wanna do it. When I have to get dressed, I don't wanna do it. When I get into the car, I don't wanna do it. When I'm reading the workout, I don't wanna do it." I was genuinely like you're like, "And even when I'm in the middle of the workout,
Yeah.
you're like, I don't wanna do this."
Yeah.
You're always telling you always have this voice in your head that's like, "Don't do it, that's gonna suck." Right?
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
how do you like, what's your is it a strategy? Is it I mean, I'm sure it's a mindset, but, like, getting kind of into the nuts and bolts, because we could speak philosophically, sure, but, like, in that moment, what is happening, and how
Mm.
are you functioning through that?
Yeah. So, well, I think that it starts first, in my opinion, with like micro framework in your mind,
Mhm.
which is like philosophically, strategically that by doing that, by doing something that you don't want to do, you're just moving forward. Just physically, mentally, you're getting that one rep better, 1% better every day.
Mhm.
It starts there, I think. The second piece is empirical evidence
Mm.
that you have as a person. By doing this for decade, I have gotten to this point. Therefore, if I keep doing this for another decade, it's probably going to get me to that other point. So, like,
Right.
first, that's for like this philosophical framework that doing hard stuff is really beneficial,
Yeah, and just
right?
having
Just
that
having that
knowing.
knowing empirically, like,
Yeah,
I know what the results look like, I know what the
right,
journey looks like, and I know
right,
where it leads over time.
right.
That's the first part. But more tactically, what happens in the moment, I think it's the mental battle in your mind. It's all in your head, obviously,
Mhm.
but it all anchors on your goal. What is the goal you're doing it for in the more short and
Right.
intermediate phase? So that's why I think I personally advocate for everybody to have a goal
Mhm.
always, especially when it comes to like athletically or professionally or whatever the case might be. Because if you're just saying, let's say, let's apply it to your athletic journey or your fitness journey. If you're just telling to yourself like, I'm just gonna go work out to feel good,
Mhm.
right? It's a it's a low motivator. It's a low bar for motivation for you
Mhm.
to be able to overcome some of those voices in the moment of struggle. Like for example, you wake up in the morning and it's cold outside. Like I don't really want to do this because it's cold outside, so I'd rather stay in bed. Because the level of goal is not matching the level of effort you have to put in to go to the gym.
Right.
So to me, that's why setting that goal is so important. And in my case, you know that I have very high competitive goals that
Yeah.
I want to make it to the semifinals. I want to take it to the games. I want to make it to this, to that. Uh, which allows me then in the moment when I have that battle to say, if I don't do this today, I'm kind of taking a step back from that goal. However, if I do overcome that moment,
Right.
I'm getting closer to that goal.
Right.
And that's what I'm always having that conversation in my head. Even today, I was doing the workout and it was, coming back from the competition. My body's a little bit relaxed. I don't really want to go too hard. But I was thinking to myself, I have to do this because the next goal is right around the corner. So I kind of have to overcome that moment.
Mhm.
And then you know that the feeling afterwards is of extreme fulfillment. So that's
Yeah.
also tactically a huge, powerful motivator for you to do that hard thing,
Yeah.
like jumping into a cold pool, doing that hard thing in the moment, because you know that
Right.
after the feeling is going to be of extreme fulfillment.
Right.
So I would say those are the elements that are going through my head when I'm
Right.
struggling, which
Yeah.
is almost every day.
Do you think that it almost sounds like there is a balance almost that's happening where between it's not it's like your conviction is only slightly greater than your desire to stop.
Yes,
It's only slightly greater.
it's only slightly greater.
And yet the results are empirically success, right?
Hmm.
Because you even though it's only slightly greater. So it's not even necessarily, although for sure we can say there's a lot of variables that do make, it easier for you for sure. But the mind games in terms of the mindset, right? Like you still it's not like it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna go and I'm just gonna go do this thing. And like, cool. And I know I can do this and da 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 da. It's like everything in your body is saying, like, stop, don't do this. In including the workouts.
Yeah.
The workouts that you do are literally bringing you close to like catastrophic heart failure. You know what I mean? You're literally like you're putting your body and your heart and everything under so much stress for such a long period of time, or in these massive bursts and intervals. Even your body is physically telling you at every like stop,
Hmm.
and overcoming that,
Yeah.
the burning in your legs, in your lungs, in your head, everything down to your
Hmm.
fingers, right, are is
Yeah.
burning, right? So, yeah, that's what I'm hearing is, like, literally that conviction is only slightly greater
Yeah.
than the battle itself, because the battle is still incredible.
Because I want to chase something that's always ahead of me.
Right.
It, it's never.
"Ooh, you gonna go see your girlfriend? Do you wanna make an appearance?" "Sure."
What is this then?
"I'm interviewing your dad."
Oh, seriously?
Mhm.
Dang, you look so formal.
I know.
You know, I gotta dress up for this very important moment. So
Let me
He
see.
popped out the bird dogs.
the bird dogs.
Look at
Yes.
you. The
All
gold on
right.
black.
Do you have a ride, or you
Oh,
just
she's gonna pick me.
okay?
Oh,
Very cool.
and do her parents know? They do. Okay, great. Lovely. Okay.
All right. Have fun.
Love you. Is she coming right now? Oh, okay. You can watch if you want.
Nah.
Do you want to be a part of this? No. You were there when your dad had the competition in Arizona. Can you come here?
You have just been voluntold.
Voluntold. You've been voluntold. Be narrow enough for that?
Yeah.
Ish. Hips are
So
not. What
like,
what was it like watching your dad in Arizona? Watching him compete, struggle.
struggle.
You don't think he struggled?
Nah.
Interesting.
I mean, he PR'd on Snatch. I mean, you should have been there to see that. He was struggling like the few reps. Like, I didn't think he was gonna get it 225. But then as soon as I see 230, he just fling that thing out. That's pretty good. Not bad. Not bad. The only thing I'd say he struggled on was just like probably just being nervous in the beginning. I feel like
Mhm.
if he was a lot confident in the beginning, he could have placed higher. But,
Right. This is his first big
yeah,
competition.
that's exactly, and that's probably why as well.
Yeah.
That's why.
What did he tell you about his nervousness?
Not a lot actually. Just that you were like nervous about everything, but you kind of kept to yourself a lot. For sure. You kind of dealt with it your own way. So that was,
which is
yeah.
very similar.
Yeah. It's better to deal with it your own way than have
It
somebody else do it for you.
is it? I mean, he told me. So he did open up. You were very like you were like, "I'm struggling. This is really bad." You were
You
like
opened up to mom? Not me?
No, I told you.
You told me you were nervous. That was it.
No, I was very nervous the first day, extremely nervous. I don't think I've been
Right.
I've been that nervous before, but it's this feeling that I know,
Mm,
but I couldn't control it. I just couldn't
right.
control
Right.
the anxiety, the nervousness, the pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just overwhelming. Specifically on the first day,
Yeah.
and I think it was because of the newness of the experience, because it was a big stage, this big event with all these amazing competitors
And
and
people
all
that
that
you
stuff.
watched videos on,
Yeah,
YouTube heroes,
right.
basically, and
Yeah.
like just general CrossFit athlete heroes.
I had a CrossFit champion said my shirt was cool.
Was that the shirt?
Remember
Say again?
the Canadian guy?
Oh yeah, there was, there was some really kind of,
Did you recognize?
no, he had
Oh,
no
oh.
idea.
I had no
Oh,
I
is
just
it
told
you
him
had
that
the
was,
Canadian shirt
I had
on?
like the hockey shirt on.
All right.
And so like one of the Canadian, like what was it, CrossFit champion?
yeah. No, one of the guys who was not competing, he was basically like in a crew of competitor, but
Uh-huh.
he is an individual. He
Uh-huh.
won CrossFit Games 2 or 3 times with Rich Froning. He was
Wow.
there supporting, and he's a Canadian. So he saw
Who
my
was it?
Sam Cornvayer.
Okay.
He's like a pretty known name in the space.
Cool.
Anyways, I'm sure your listeners will be interested to hear about that.
I like how Rafa is strategically placed behind it.
No, but yeah, no, I thought it was pretty cool.
Maybe like
Yeah.
like this.
Oh yeah, there you go. Look, he has a face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that was a new side of you that I wouldn't say I haven't seen before. I've definitely seen like slivers
hmm
of that version of you. Um but it was something that was like detached from me because I've seen like slivers of that, like say when I was pregnant, when I got my pap back,
Mm.
and that was really scary. I'm getting emotional.
Hmm.
Thank you. Or like yeah, like just like pregnancy, labor, like just a sliver, like seeing like that nervousness
hmm
exists within you. Um, but that was the first time I really saw you like freak out about something that was like your own
hmm
and you didn't know how to navigate it.
Yeah.
And that like talk a little bit about that. Cause
About that experience.
yeah, just like that.
Well, I think it again comes back to the reason why I was feeling that way, and I knew exactly why. It's because the weight of the moment
Mhm.
was a big moment, one of the most important competitions. I was preparing for it for 6 months. Was a goal of the year
Yeah.
to be there, first to qualify, and then hopefully perform up to my expectations. I was telling Rafa that I would be happy if I feel like I have performed to my potential that weekend. And that was my biggest point of nervousness, is I didn't know if I was able, I didn't know where I am
Right.
relative to the field. And for all those reasons, I felt extremely nervous because before that event number one, I have no idea what to expect. It's a swim. I've never swum in an event. I don't know how good the other guys are. I don't know if I was going to make a mistake. So all of those
And how many
thoughts.
times did you train in the pool?
Oh, like I trained for a couple of months, maybe.
Yeah, but
in the
how
pool.
many
You
times?
should have seen this.
5, 6, whatever. The point is more like I knew exactly why I was feeling that way in the moment, and it was because it's the weight and all those factors I described, and the difficulty was I couldn't control my nervousness.
Right.
Usually, I'm able to like
Breathe through it, calm down.
have self-talk, breathe, and then I'm calm down. But then, thankfully, because I've been in this situation before, because of the decades of experience professionally and also in athletic stage. Once we started warming up, the nerves have subsided. And then when I was actually doing the thing and I'm in the moment, that was not a factor at all. That was actually, I felt good. And then once you see the score, once you see the kind of where you are, you're like, okay, cool. I belong here. It's all good. I'm going to
Mhm.
be fine. So that
And
was
where
the
did you end
experience.
up placing? And mind you, first big competition,
Yeah.
it's out of everyone in the world. You leaving? Okay. Love
Okay.
you.
Love you.
She's not outside yet.
Joy.
Okay.
Love you, daddy. Love you, mom.
Love you too.
Love you.
Um, yeah, which place did you ended up getting?
So for your listeners slash viewers, so this was the CrossFit competition in an age group 40 to 44 division, which is my age group. I'm 41. It's probably beyond the world championship. It's like either the top or maybe top two competition in the world for which you can qualify as a masters athlete. So that was a big goal of mine. It's an established brand for it's been running for like a decade. A lot of the best athletes in the world, they go to that competition because the level of competition is good, the organization is good, etc.
Mhm.
So every age group had about 40 to 45 athletes. In my age group, we had 40 athletes, and at the end of the
That
weekend,
qualified.
that qualified and competed. So I ended up placing fourth overall in my age group at the end of the weekend, and my goal was top 10, and so good result for me.
Was that
And
a stretch
stuff.
goal, that top 10? Did that or was that like did that seem super achievable, top 10?
No, I think it was more like in my head, I felt it was realistic based on my qualifying position, based on what I knew about the field. I felt like if I got top 10, I would have been happy with that. So obviously fourth is good.
Good.
And I'm
Shut up.
pretty happy with it.
What does it mean for you to get 4th?
Well, again, it comes back to this idea of I feel a huge sense of fulfillment because of all this work that led up to this point wasn't in vain. And obviously the training, the mindset, the experience over
Mhm.
the decades of training is what you can showcase on that stage. And then just the fact that the people I was competing with and against, they were all incredible athletes, all of them, world class, incredible that I know by name, and I now can call friends, colleagues, whatever. So it meant a lot. That weekend meant a lot, and just sharing it with Rafa, that moment of just competition and mindset and being in the moment and performing and getting to know these people and experiencing the environment was huge. Like love that weekend is definitely going to be a big core memory for me. Yeah, was good.
So proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you, baby. Thank you for the support because obviously doing something like that requires a lot of hours of training and all of that stuff wouldn't have been possible without you just tanking everything in the morning and making sure, I can just dedicate those 2 3 hours in the morning to train, to prepare for that. So it's thanks to you. Like you're part of the crew, baby. It's
I'm part of
only
the pit crew.
you're part of the crew. So thank you.
Of course, of course. Yeah, I mean, I think that it's easy to support someone when you know not just what they're capable of, but also like their commitment level, their focus level, and that they're willing to put in the work. And more importantly, I feel like, um, and this maybe sound weird saying it this way, but like that pay it back, right? Because you're an amazing husband, you're an amazing father, you're like in that it just like a partner, and when you have that, you want to support someone in the best way that you can because you're feeling fulfilled in that partnership, you know? And if there's anything we needed to talk about, is anything we need to strategize, it was like, how do we get through this? Not always like the easiest conversations, but certainly I would say much easier than, like, if we weren't already foundationally aligned,
Hmm.
and we've always been foundationally aligned, and, like, we've always had there's, like, an interesting anatomy, I think, well, relationships that work, but in our relationship, it is always sometimes kinda hard to pinpoint, like, why is it that we work so good? You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
you really are my best friend. I really am able to, like, be all different parts of myself um, and
Yeah.
feel supported by you, and I don't know, I just feel like you give me space to be all of that and to collaborate and to grow something magnificent and to pursue dreams and to you know what I mean? Like, we just have these foundational values, I think, and, like, the pursuit of personal curiosity, I think, is something that we both just I think it's, like, not an obvious alignment that we have, but it's definitely, I think, an impactful one.
Hmm.
Like, you've said to me numerous times, like, that you love that I'm always trying to do better.
Hmm.
Like, I'm always trying to challenge myself, and I'm always even though I'll feel like I'm not doing anything, like
I love that.
Yeah, and
That's huge. It's huge
yeah,
because that means that we are moving forward always. Like you are moving forward as a person, as a mother, as a wife. I'm also moving forward because I have that same mentality,
mhm,
and I think that's what allows us to look with optimism in the future as well. Because we're like, oh look, if we're always trying to move forward on all of these domains. It means that hopefully the future is going to be positive, right, for us
yeah,
and for the kids and all
yeah,
that stuff.
yeah, totally. I also think, like, our upbringings, like, our global perspective is also something that makes it really easy to, um, relate to each other in a way or, like, have global perspective.
Hmm.
Like, my father was in the military, so we moved around a lot, and both my parents are, naturalized citizens, so my dad's born in Mexico, my mom's born in Spain, so we were also always going to Spain to visit family, always going to Mexico to visit
Yeah,
family, lived in Naples, Italy, had this sort of this unorthodox family makeup also, where even though we were visiting family and all that, we usually weren't that close to, like, our extended family. So we always had kind of our core nucleus. And then you're also moving around a lot. So there's this sort of, finding a lot of self-knowledge through just general life
getting
experiences.
perspective.
And getting perspective, yeah, like, you gain more perspective about yourself through diversified
Yeah,
experiences, like, external perspectives.
I think there are
Um
two elements to that. It's perspective because of the global.
Mhm,
You had experiences in all these places, and you met so many people from different backgrounds, different cultures. I think that gives you a
mhm,
huge perspective on many layers of life.
mhm,
And the other thing is lack of entitlement.
mhm,
That's another huge one because
yeah,
you don't think that what you have is what you deserve. It's like you,
right,
you knew you had to work hard for it.
yeah,
And I think that is a huge powerful like motivator for gratitude, having always gratitude and having always this being able to take a step back and saying, well, the life we have now, it's not because we deserve it.
right,
It's because we have worked hard for it.
yeah,
And
and it's not a given.
it's not a given. Tomorrow may all go away.
Yeah, which is kinda what happened to you very late in life. When you were 18, you were almost about to turn 18,
Yeah.
and your parents are, like, literally
Yeah. Let's move to Spain.
Yeah.
Like, what? What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? You had your whole life,
Yeah.
and you had also, like, moved a couple times,
Hmm.
during that time period because you lived in, Yekaterinburg, where you were born, and
Yes.
then you moved to Moscow,
Mm.
and then from Moscow, you moved to Spain.
A Coruña and then Bilbao and then Madrid and then
Mm.
Ireland
The rest is history.
and then LA.
Lots of parts of that
Yeah.
Yeah, what was that like? And we'll just talk about that a little bit before we get into fun stuff. But
This
well,
is fun.
love you, baby. Oh, almost. Okay. Lola's like, you gonna take me out again? Nah. Um, but yeah, like what do you feel like how that impacted you, that experience of like just like has that anything equivalent in nature, do you think ever happened to you before like that? Where it
In
was
nature,
yeah, no, in like in that
thank you for that, Rafa.
what? Do we want gum? I'll have gum. Do you want gum?
No, I'm good, thank you.
He's gonna want gum.
Sorry, yes.
Okay.
Bye,
Love you.
YouTube.
Did you say bye YouTube?
Bye, YouTube.
Love you. You smell good.
Have fun.
Enjoy. Make good decisions. Okay. But like when you were growing up, because you moved several times and you had really interesting, impactful experiences for sure. Growing up, anyways, in Soviet Union and then later Russia. When your parents told you like, "Oh, we're moving to Spain," had anything happened to you that was equivalent in impact like that
Like before or after?
before? Like leading up to that point, have you ever experienced anything that
Um, hmm, I don't think so.
you do?
Love you. See, this is the kind of stuff I didn't do as a kid. Seriously. You can leave it to show the, the gap between the previous generations and this generation.
Well, your generation was like,
You should probably restate the question because otherwise it's going to
it's
be
fine. Don't worry about it.
okay.
Let that be my problem. But for real, I've always compared the way you grew up and like your environment and your experiences growing up are very similar, I think, in impact and like in perspective. Very similar to like my mom, how she grew up because
Yeah,
she grew up with Franco in Spain, so a dictator.
right.
And a lot of shit was happening. Previous generation went through like the Civil War. We have people in our family who like died because of what was happening in the country and all of that in the history. And it was all very tangible and very recent. And then you're in kind of this kind of reparations mode
Yep.
and you're exposed to all this sort of byproduct. And then you're raised in the philosophy that's more of like survival and necessity than like this pursuit of philosophical joy.
Mm.
This like his generation, like even me growing up, right? I had so many privileges compared to the way you grew up, right? Where it was like about the necessity. It was about the like what was in front of you and
It
and
does smell good.
it does. I'm smelling a little bit too. I was like, this is totally Sark's perfume profile, cologne profile.
Confiscated.
Tax.
Tax
Daddy tax.
for disrupting the podcast. Okay.
It does smell good though.
Yeah.
Did he smell? Oh, he sprayed it on himself upstairs and then he came down. That's why.
Yeah. He could have done that part downstairs. The opening part upstairs. Like it's judgment sometimes.
It's hard to.
It's hard. Judgment is hard.
Wait till we get to rapid fire questions. You're gonna love that.
Okay. So what's the question again?
I think we've got enough. I think Rafa has done enough. No, but like when you left to Spain, had you ever experienced anything that was like
No, that was by far the biggest one.
Yeah.
Biggest one. The biggest disruptor to the everything, right?
Yeah.
The world. But I do remember I do remember, like, this is again, it comes back to the foundational building blocks of, I guess, how I was brought up and who I am today. It's always been like the easiest analogy I can muster here is I'm like water. I fit into any cup, into any shape. And that's been always the case for me as a kid growing up, later in my 20s, as an adult in my 30s, etc. And now. And I think it's this idea that like every situation you are put into, you have to focus on those things that you can directly control, therefore adapting. That adaptation piece. And when we moved to Spain, for example, I had no conception of the Spanish language. I didn't know anything. I knew a bit of English, and I obviously was speaking Russian as my main language. But moving to Spain, as soon as I found out, I was like, I'm going to learn Spanish, and I'm going to do everything I can before we move to understand just the basics of the language, which then allowed me, when we moved into Spain, within 2 months being able to speak Spanish, and then within 6 months to take their basically the equivalent for SATs, to then be able to be eligible for in university or college, as like on basically next year went to the next
Which
step.
is absolutely.
But it's not about like, oh, I learned Spanish, I'm cool. It's more about like just understanding the factors, like
by the way, you speak better Spanish than I do.
Thank you. No, but the reality, like, people are like, oh my God, you speak, this is how long, everybody for like 2 years there, be like, oh my God, you've been only here for 2 years, you speak Spanish, that's so well. I was like, yeah, that's pretty much how I spoke like 6 months later. But the point is not about Spanish. The point is that, in every situation, you have to identify the factors that you can control directly to give you the best chance for success. And that's, I feel like, how always been my mindset. Like, what can I do in that moment to help me be successful in this particular environment? And this can be applied to your professional journey, to your athletic journey, to your life. And that would be my biggest takeaway, is just every moment, take it as a opportunity to just be like water, adapt to the environment, control the controllables. And then those things that you're not can control, that's easy to let it go, because it's not directly what you can influence. That would be my kind of takeaway from that entire experience.
Yeah, totally. That's amazing.
Yeah.
You're awesome.
Thank you, baby.
You're welcome.
That's it. That's
the serious stuff.
Okay, cool. Great. We'll do it. We should do it again.
Now,
what's the fun thing?
So the other thing is, we're gonna do some rapid fire questions.
Okay. What does it mean? What am I supposed to?
Basically, I'm just gonna ask you quick questions, and you just tell me like
the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah, or like not an in-depth answer, but like
Okay.
You just tell me. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right.
We'll do it.
Are you ready?
Sure.
What do you think when a car cuts you off?
I'm not very happy.
Don't
PG, right?
Don't give me PG. This will be
idiot.
Fantastic. What do you think when something isn't done right?
Stupid. Why are you laughing?
It was like, it's either going to be that one or whose fault is this?
Okay, fair enough.
How much do you love me?
11 out of 10.
Oh, yay.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite child?
All of them are equally favorite.
Nice. Good PC response. Who's actually your favorite?
All of them.
It depends on the season, maybe.
All of them. They're all great in their own way.
It's true. They're all going through a great.
Yeah.
They're all experiencing.
You can't compare your children, baby. You kidding me? How can you possibly compare?
She's advanced, baby. Direct
Okay.
quote.
Next question.
What's your favorite color?
Military green
Very nice. The color of your car.
and black.
Mm. Are you a matte black or a shiny black person?
Matte black.
Matte black.
Hmm.
All matte black all day. What is it? What's this quote? What did he say? All matte black, everything.
I have no idea.
I'm talking about MBGK with
MKBHD.
yes.
Mhm.
I always forget the what does he say? All matte black?
I don't know.
Something like that.
Yeah, probably.
How was this experience for you?
That was fun. That was good.
Yeah.
It's allows you to go a bit deeper on some questions, reflect a little bit more. So hopefully it was fun for you as well.
I think you did
Yeah?
great.
You
And I
think
feel
so?
good. Like I did some prep too. So
Yeah, yeah. The whole disruption was
it was fun.
let's call it fun.
was 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 that able to be considered something that wasn't done right, quote unquote?
Not that to that degree. It was a few notches below that. But yeah.
But yeah. Yes. Period. Awesome. Well, thank you, baby.
Thank you. Thank you for doing this. All right.
And next time we'll talk about aliens and football.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
We should react to some videos next time.
Yes, and maybe
Yeah.
some football stuff as
Cool.
well.
Approved to release.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Hopefully it wasn't too boring.